Okay, I guess it's not too early. 73 games of the 81 that are necessary to reach the halfway point of a 162 game Major League Baseball season. Let's talk all about my choice at the near halfway point for the AL MVP. I'm Matt Levine. Thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel. Please do go ahead and not only like this video, but please do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also got a website that I have created from scratch, as they say, soup to nuts, right? 954sports.com. Enough about me. Let's talk about DJ LeMahieu. That's right. The New York Yankees' versatile infielder or primary second baseman through the 2019 season. You might know him for being a Colorado Rocky prior to joining the Yankees. He spent the last 7 seasons in Colorado, originally drafted by the Cubs, came up with Chicago in 2011. Now a pretty good hitter in his years in the Mile High City. A .299 career hitter, comes to the Yankees, interestingly enough, in this offseason with not only an opportunity for the first time to play in New York, the American League, but to join a team without a position, really. You didn't know where he would wind up necessarily. Of course, Didi was shelved with the Tommy John surgery, just rejoined the Yanks to take over his spot at shortstop. Until he did, the Yankees were able to shuffle in Gleyber Torres. Gio Urshela has picked up the slack and then some at third base. So you weren't sure. One, LeMahieu became a Yankee instead of guys like Harper, particularly Machado, in the offseason, where he would play. And with the DD injury and Urshela doing Newman's work, LeMahieu settled in primarily at second base, okay? He's played 50 games at second, 20 at third, 6 at first. And here's why I think he should be the American League's MVP. Now, I know there are the usual suspects and candidates who might be the more sexier choices for AL MVP on paper, primarily like Mike Trout. You've got a couple of kids in Minnesota, Polanco, Rosario, who have been fabulous. Can't forget about plenty of Astros. I think Brantley has been the biggest Astro thus far. So you've got guys in Houston, you've got guys who are getting the job done in Minnesota, and of course you got Mr. Trout, who just about each and every year could be a legitimate choice for the AL MVP. The Yankees also have a couple of guys that would be prime selections. A newcomer, Carcion, who just came over, right? Edwin Encarnacion, the slugger, already seems to feel and fit like a Yankee. Seems like he's been there forever. He's been there, 2 games? Slugged a home run a couple nights ago against the Rays. And, of course, Gary Sanchez has bounced back like the old rubber ball and then some this year. He's a prime selection for AL MVP. But I like DJ LeMahieu because he's been the most clutch player in baseball, period, with runners in scoring position. Leads the league in average. How good has he been? 30 for 65 for the former Colorado Rocky turned Yankee. Not too shabby. 2 home runs in that mix. And that 462 average, the best in the bigs with runners in scoring position. Overall, 8 homers, 44 RBI, 5th best average in the league at 313. He's just been great. Really has for the Yankees. His attitude has been very Yankee-like. A consummate professional. Wasn't sure, again, where he'd fit. Didn't seem like maybe the guy that can fit in New York because he's so quiet and reserved. You weren't sure. But there's a quality about him that's very Eli-like. Cool, calm, and collective. Yes, that Eli. And by the way, Still a starting quarterback for the New York Giants. That's a story for another day. But he's a real consummate pro, DJ LeMahieu, and I love what he's done as a Yankee this year. Third right now in the All-Star voting. By the way, Luke Voit first at first base in the voting, and Gary Sanchez, respectively, the leading vote getter, of course, at catcher. Now, with all the great players the Yankees have, I love what this kid brings to the table. 30 years young. For example, today, the Yankees crushed the Rays. I think the final was, 12-1? Had the game on in the background while I was working. More or less on mute throughout the day. But I did see a couple of highlights, including LeMahieu lead off the game with a base hit. 40 minutes later, as the Yankees batted around, he came up, chipped in with a 2-run single to make it a 6-love lead for the Yanks after one to back CeCe Sabathia, who would pitch for his 250th career W. And LeMahieu, a star again. The Yankees on a 5-game streak. How good has he been? 4 of those 5 games, multiple hit games. He has 29 of those on the season. But again, the number that sticks out, the average with runners in scoring position. And that is 4.62. To me, the best player in the league is the guy who's most clutch for a team that keeps coming up with clutch victories. The Yankees have been a great story. Like them, love them, hate them, whatever it is. You can't deny the fact that the Yankees have more or less come out of nowhere with all the injuries this year and have plugged guys in. Just like this guy. And that's what makes DJ LeMahieu my choice as we hit the near halfway point of the Major League Baseball season for this award right here, the AL MVP. Now, when it comes to Yankee MVPs in my lifetime, there have been a couple that I really remember. That guy right there, Steve Summers of WFAN, one of the all-time greats, calls him Lightning Rod. A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez, a 2-time Yankee MVP, blew it up in 05 and 07. 07 went wild. Best season as a Yankee. 54 dingers, 156 RBI, 314 average. But when it comes to my favorite Yankee MVPs, no doubt about it, Donnie friggin' Baseball. The 1985 Yankee MVP of the American League, and he was great. 35 home runs. There you have it. 145 RBI, a 324 average. Like I said, the Yankees have plenty of contenders this year that may wind up as the American League MVP, but right now, my choice, again, is DJ LeMahieu.